2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
And you can feel the anticipation building with the introduction of each player. Stick around. We'll be right back with playoff basketball. And it's the start here of Game 3 of the NBA Finals. 2K Sports postseason presentation of the NBA. And it's tied 1-1. With Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. With us tonight, 1990 NBA Dunk Contest finalist Kenny the Jet Smith. I remember that 90 event. You were terrific. You were skying all over the place.
Man, thanks for having me. But how did they give Dominique that? He did the same dunk 3 times. If you do the same dunk, you're going to get the same score. That doesn't make sense to me. But, hey, man, happy to be here.
DA, it's all yours.
Hey, Kevin, the Clippers, for now at least, are still tenants at the Staples Center. But former team superstar and analyst for the Hawks, Dominique Wilkins, who used to play for the Clippers at the end of his career, said the atmosphere at their games now matches that of the Lakers, adding, "This excitement for 2 teams in the same city, I don't know when that's happened in basketball. It's pretty amazing." Guys?
There's been a transformation here in L.A. There is no doubt about that. DA, thank you. Look at the 76ers starting group. Harris and Embiid together in the middle. Shake Milton is out there with Ben Simmons, and it's Korkmaz at the small forward position. And for the Clippers, Marcus Morris is out there with Kawhi Leonard. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins, and it's T.J. McConnell, and it's George in at the 2. So Philadelphia will get the first possession. Now here's Milton. Looking for Harris. He gets it there. Count it. Kenny, with all the switching now defensively, it's so valuable to have a big man who can pass out of those double teams and make plays for other guys.
Giannis, number 1. Jokic, number 2. LeBron is obviously number 1A. Big guy who can pass because, we forget that he's 6'9", 6'10".
And don't forget about Embiid as a true center.
He has gotten better.
He's a good enough passer. Their problem is they just don't space the floor as well as they need to.
Basket good.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
And I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
And Leonard gets it to go. Kenny, you played for a number of coaches in your career. Which players right now do you think, as you take a look at all the players in the league, would maybe make a good head coach in the future?
Well, LeBron would be a great coach. CP3 would be a heck of a coach, probably. C.J. McCollum plays a game because there's a guy. I like guys who weren't like the star and then became it because they understand the guys on the bench, how they feel, as well as the stars. So C.J. McCollum has kind of come up into that.
Well, that's why a lot of great coaches, it's not that they were the best player, but they played on great teams. So they get to see it. I'd throw another name out there, Rajon Rondo.
Rajon Rondo.
Okay.
What about Greg Anthony?
No,
that's the broadcast booth. No, he'd be, Greg would be great.
He'd be great.
No,
I think either of you would be great.
It would be fun.
I'm trying to own the team next.
That's what you want to do. You want to own. You want to own. Simmons looking around. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
And this is how Simmons puts up points. He challenges you close at the rim more often than not, having the physical advantage.
And Leonard gets it to go.
Good way to start this game. You want to get him rolling as early as possible.
He's a guy who, if he gets hot, he can carry your offense for long stretches.
Simmons' shot is good. And it's the Clippers with the ball, trailing by 2. They won their last game Monday night.
Yeah, their long-range artillery hit the mark more often than not. A great equalizer when you're on the road.
It's always a good thing when the defense is scrambling. Whenever there was open space on the perimeter, their shooters were able to locate it.
And here's Embiid. He'll bring it up for the 76ers. Harris's shot is good.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Goes up on the high post. And good. And it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. Leonard's got his 3rd bucket of the night. Here's Korkmaz. Here's Embiid. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. 76ers lead by 2. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the 2nd quarter on 2K Sports. It's time for more of the NBA Finals on 2K Sports. What a time of year. And looking at what we've seen so far, guys, from the 76ers, what are your thoughts?
Just a terrific first quarter, sparked really by their unselfishness.
I'll tell you, that willingness to make the extra pass, that is what creates good looks. It also forces the defense to scramble.
Kenny, you played alongside some incredible clutch performers. Who would you give the ball to now for a game-deciding 3?
Game-deciding 3. Steph Curry's number 1. Klay Thompson's number 2. Ray Allen's retired, so I'll go with Trae Young.
Ooh, what about Dame Lillard?
I'm sorry. Dame Lillard, number 3. And then Trae.
Say what?
Steph, Klay,
Lillard.
Game-winning 3, not off the dribble.
I'm going to throw a wild card out there.
Who's that?
Kawhi.
No.
Kawhi. Hey, Kevin and I saw him hit one of the biggest threes.
Yeah, that's a wild card, though.
That's a wild card. I mean, hey, he hit a 3 to get to the finals.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
And he was injured in that game and in those series. Yeah. So to begin the 2nd quarter for the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid out there with Bobby Portis. Then it's Green, then it's Curry. And it's Maxey in at the 1. On the wing, Jackson. Zubac's in the post. Guarded by Embiid. Philadelphia leading by 4. Here's Curry. And the rejection by Jackson. And we're about a minute into the 2nd quarter of play.
Great rim protection to prevent him from converting. Beautiful.
Green passes to Curry. Over in the corner, Portis. Now, here's Maxey. Guarded by Jackson. And the 76ers get it back. Pass to Curry. The tray. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Curry's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Clippers trail by 7. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Jackson dishes to Ibaka. Zubac trying to break loose. He gets that one. Ibaka's got his first points of the game. And what about our special guest? Kenny, thanks for taking the time to join us, dropping by. Always a pleasure. You add so much to the broadcast.
Man, thanks for having me. This is just great.
Thank you. What a pleasure it was to have Kenny joining us. Doris, he's been in the business for a long, long time.
Boy, as great as Kenny Smith was on the basketball court, he was a tremendous guard, a championship guard. He's been equally impressive off of it. This guy's a mainstay in the studio, Emmy Award winner, truly a special treat.
On the wing, Green. The pass to Embiid. It's hauled in by Zubac. Clippers have gone 2 of 6 from the field in the second quarter so far. In the corner, it's Harris. The shot goes down and he gets this game back to even.
This is what we call a sniper from the outside. Joe Harris, a knockdown shooter.
Curry with it. It's Ibaka picking him up. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Philadelphia shooting their first free throws here for the night. Free throw good, Curry.
Well, similar to his brother Steph, Seth is a knockdown shooter. This guy's a crafty combo guard with a number of tricks up his sleeve.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Marcus Morris is checked in for Zubac. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Joe Harris. George is checked in for Luke Kennard. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Jackson. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
An efficient night from the line. This is a guy who puts in the work and it pays dividends.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game. Outside, George. Good. And McConnell gets the assist.
Well, Paul George routinely making these difficult shots look easy. He's showing how dominant he truly is.
Curry finds Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. Leonard with no one around. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
Shooting off the dribble is probably one of the toughest skills in the NBA, but Kawhi has it mastered.
And here's Simmons for three. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Los Angeles on top as they end the second quarter on a 12-4 run. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much. Doc, what do you think you'll see from them in the second half?
Well, they're moving the ball. They're just playing to the hot hand, and we got to expect that. So let's not let anyone get hot. That would be nice.
Always the coach's mantra. Thanks, Doc. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And the NBA Finals action continues here on 2K Sports. Glad to have you with us on the halftime show. Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Ernie Johnson. Checking out the Clippers. They want nothing more than to seize the momentum of this championship series tied 1-1. They gave it their all in the first half, but this looks like a battle that could go down to the final seconds. And taking a look at the Clippers, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, they've given a good show to their fans so far, executing well on their home court. It's far from a done deal, though. This is a game they do not, I repeat, they do not want to let get away from it.
Shaq, what'd you think about Philadelphia?
Whatever their game plan was defensively coming in, that needs to change. Can't let a team shoot for a percentage in the high 50s and expect to come out on top. It's on the coaches and the players to adjust.
And that's all we have for now. Tell the folks goodbye, Shaq. Tell the folks goodbye,
Goodbye.
Kenny. Goodbye. Go to Kevin Harlan.
And we're back with you, all set to bring you more action from Game 3. You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column? Through two quarters, he has been terrific.
And one would expect that the defense made some adjustments at halftime, but he has the ability to answer right back.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. We've got DeMarcus Cousins. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Morris. And it's T.J. McConnell. And it's George in at the shooting guard position. That's the group starting the second half for Tyronn Lue.
Don't you get the sense that Paul George relishes these challenges? He knows he's a top-tier player. He fears no one.
And there it is for him. Simmons got 10 points.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And, boy, that's a terrific start right there.
And that one's good. Cousins.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Milton kicks to Embiid. Back to Milton. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. And Simmons slams it in.
He's an absolute gym rat. Simmons is relentless in his pursuit to dominate really all phases of the game and improving with his scoring.
And so it's McConnell with it. He'll bring it up for the Clippers. It's a one-point game. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. A shot by Milton, no good. Clippers have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Great open look there. George has got the lead up to 4 now for Los Angeles.
Boy, everyone is getting to their spots and then capitalizing. 3 for 4 in the quarter. Beautiful.
Simmons can't get it to go. Clippers have gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. And good that time. And the Clippers lead by 6.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Here's Simmons. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by McConnell. Here's George. And he drops it in from the low post. George has got 7 points here in this quarter.
We are talking about a proficient, efficient scorer in Paul George. Go to work, sir.
Harris, good.
You know, he's been giving them points, but they still can't seem to get over the hump tonight.
McConnell scanning the floor. Bangs home the trifecta. Leonard's got 12 in the game.
Well, guys, Kawhi may not have averaged 20 points per game until his 5th season, but now it happens with regularity.
Harris passes to Embiid, and the rejection by Cousins. And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. And now another look at that mobile one-block defensive performance.
And you've got to take your defense up a notch in the playoffs. He takes it up about 3 notches on that block.
Harris is checked in for the Clippers. Jackson comes in for T.J. McConnell. Maxey's checked in for the 76ers. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. That one's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down to 7 on the bucket from Harris.
And that's what Simmons does. His vision and accuracy make him a premier presence on the floor.
George with the bucket.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
And guys, boy, when you're hitting, it sure does work. It obviously opens up major options at the offensive end.
Here's Milton. Offline with his 3.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Count that one. And now it's a 12-point Clipper lead.
Joe Harris so good at keeping his composure in intense situations. Nice job playing through contact.
You can't let Simmons get going off of these dunks. His confidence just soars when he slams it down like that.
Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for the L.A. Clippers. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Right back after this break. Let's hear what Doc Rivers has going on over in his huddle.
Hey, Doc, we need a run right here. Come on now. You're right there. You're right there. All right, let's go.
And sensing the need to string together more baskets, Doc Rivers giving his team a little pep talk.
Yeah, he's going after the momentum. I mean, Doc sees an opportunity here for them to put their stamp on this game.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks, as always, for joining us. A moment now to reset the lineups. Brought to us by Gatorade. All fueled up here for the fourth quarter. So on the floor for Philadelphia, Simmons is out there with Portis. And it's Green. Then there's Hicks. And it's Maxey in at the point. George with no one around. That three off the mark.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
And it's Simmons penetrating. And Simmons slams it in.
And really, Simmons is nearly impossible to contain when he's sprinting to the hoop. An athletic behemoth who causes defenders fits.
George against Green. Shoots from the elbow. The shot by George, no good.
And this is a shot he can definitely make, and the defense not a factor at all.
Portis kicks to Green. George against Simmons. Down it drops through the net for his ninth bucket. He is 9 for 13 so far.
And when Simmons is inside, forget about it. He uses his skill and smarts to take advantage.
And the Clippers call time here. They're ahead by 8. A minute 50 left in the fourth. Los Angeles with some changes. Morris comes in for Ivica Zubac. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Jackson. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Workmaz, he's checked in for Danny Green. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Kevin, during the last break, I heard Tyronn Lue talking with his team. He's happy with how they've been playing. He told them, hey, they had their chance, but this is where we take it from them. This is our game and our series. He's got him pretty fired up, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Here's Ibaka. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's on Bobby Portis.
Boy, you love how Ibaka gets a little nasty down on the block. Excellent at putting the defense in a tough spot.
2 shots.
It's the first that makes it a 7-point lead.
Well, there's a length and an intensity that Serge Ibaka brings to the table. And as a solid teammate who contributes on both ends, this is a guy you want on your team.
Kawhi Leonard's checked in for Harris. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's an 8-point game. The 76ers have gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. Here's Simmons. Oh, my goodness! What a play!
Throw it down, young fella. Simmons is explosive and without a doubt one of my favorite dunkers.
And so George will bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. They've held a 12-point lead early. It's good. And the the Clippers lead by 8.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
Portis kicks to Simmons. Leonard with the steal. There's 57 seconds left in the game. And McConnell gets it to go.
And Game 3 of the NBA Championship Series is all but in the books. Congrats are in order tonight on an outstanding effort and a well-deserved victory for the Clippers.
And they're fully in control now, but there were some tense moments, I thought, for them throughout this game.
Listen, they certainly weren't coasting despite what the score looks like. I love the way they came together, though, when everything started to look a little dire and really put the hammer down.
And, you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Paul George.
Boy, whatever was needed, he provided it. He was the jack of all trades. Big bucket on one end, big defensive play on the other. I thought his influence was felt all over the floor.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. Ibaka, no luck. And here are the 76ers now, trailing here by 8. Harris finds Simmons. Over Morris. And it's Simmons, that time on the assist from Harris.
And when the game is tight, Simmons rises to the occasion, effortlessly capitalizing when his team desperately needs him to.
And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second.
Well, Paul George smack dab in the middle of the prime of his career, and maybe underestimated is his drive to win.
He's able to hit the second one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Timeout called the 76ers. They're trailing by 7. Just 4 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Moment to present the New Balance Player of the Game, Paul George.
And he's just been crushing it from the field tonight, Kevin. Whether it's been on open looks or with the guy draped all over him, he just hadn't missed much. With his percentage in the sky-high range, they've had no choice but to make him their #1 option on every trip.
And Craig, to play like he has under the most intense circumstances here in the playoffs makes it all the more remarkable. Good on the first, and that trims the lead to 6. Good on both. So the Clippers with the win, and they've edged in front in the series after an outstanding performance here in Game 3.
Kevin, it sure was. When teams split the first 2 games of a series, Game 3 means everything. They're going into Game 4 now, riding that high after this win.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Hey, Kevin, thank you. Why the play of the reserves was great tonight. What does that say about this team?
You know, that's what's great about us. We have a great bench coming in right behind us, picking up the tempo and playing great and playing great defense as well.
Well, it was a team effort tonight that got you this victory, man. I appreciate your time. Kevin?
David, thank you as always. Well, that'll do it. Thanks for joining us for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. For Doris Burke, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long.